Getting bigger. It's gonna be okay.
You'll be okay, Jake. Don't worry. I'll get to take care of it.
Take care of him.
You'll be ready for the fight, Jake. Don't worry about it. You're gonna be a contender.
Oh God. Am I gonna be okay?
And I feel like 58, 27, the age is not a factor. That's a wash, right? Experience level obviously is going to go to Mike Tyson. But Jake's got a screw loose.
Jake Paul's recent hospital trip is being labeled a failed suicide attempt, one that fell flat. Known for his self-proclaimed untouchable status, Jake's dramatic stunt appears more like a desperate cry for help than a real escape plan. The supposed poison found in his system? Harmless. A common substance people take in a panic. It's as if he's unraveling under pressure, and the once bold persona he displayed in promos is cracking. His bravado now seems like a fading act, revealing a man struggling to keep up appearances. Jake's confidence is clearly slipping, and he's starting to lose his audience.
Listen, it was written. That's all I know is written. Like millions of years before my bloodline was existing. It's written. And what do you think? Well,
I think you look in pretty good shape. We've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah,
I wonder how you feel now compared to when you were fighting.
I feel I don't have to call people bad names. I feel really happy. It's gonna be a good day.
And as a fighter, where are you?
For me, I'll be better by the time of the fight.
In your head. Are you the fighter that you were when you were the youngest heavyweight champion? Are you still that guy? Are you a different fighter, or do you still imagine you are what you were?
Well, no, I know. I never lied to myself, but I know I'm good enough.
The so-called poison found in Jake's stomach was harmless, just a common panic remedy. It seems he's unraveling with fear. His hyped-up promos and fake confidence are visibly cracking. Jake's act is slipping, and it's clear he's no longer fooling anyone. The tough persona he built is faltering, and everyone's starting to see through it. Jake Paul, the internet's go-to tough guy and self-styled boxing star, just landed himself in a new scandal, and it's almost too ridiculous to believe. On November 8th, 2024, the famed trash talker and YouTuber was found unconscious in his own mansion, not after a fight, but due to ingesting 15 grams of sodium nitrite, a simple chemical preservative. No real fighter took him down. It was his own choices that left him there. Once again, the internet's favorite punching bag serves up unexpected drama you truly couldn't script.
My friend's in there. It's an emergency.
Come on, Jake. We gotta get you on the journey. What's up, Jake? Hey, man.
I don't know.
Hey, we're here, man. I gotta. It's really bad, man. I'm freaking out.
Hey guys, this looks bad. We need to take it back to the DL.
Oh, thank you.
Just making it work.
It's gonna be okay.
Oh.
Don't worry, we'll
right.
stabilize it.
Oh.
Alright, let's do this.
All right, let's get him the gurney. Ready?
In true Jake Paul style, what could have been a shocking finale ended up as pure farce. The substance he ingested disrupted his blood's oxygen capacity, leaving him gasping and collapsing, almost like a botched TikTok stunt. Even in what seemed like a life or death scenario, Jake managed to turn it into a spectacle. His dramatic poisoning attempt wasn't even successful. Doctors at Cedars-Sinai managed to save him with methylene blue and oxygen therapy. It's as if Jake can't fully commit to anything, not even his own tragic stunts, which only add to his ongoing clown act.
27, the age is not a factor. That's a wash, right? Experience level obviously is going to go to Mike Tyson. But Jake's got a...
Unsurprisingly, the news exploded on social media, sparking a wave of sarcasm and memes spreading faster than Jake's attempts to cling to fame. The internet reveled in the drama. His fan base clung to whatever dignity he had left, mourning their fallen idol, while the rest of us could only roll our eyes at the spectacle. Was this yet another Jake stunt? An over-the-top plea for sympathy? Or perhaps a desperate move to dodge the real storm brewing? After all, his scheduled showdown with Mike Tyson on November 15th was fast approaching, and the pressure seemed impossible to escape.
Paul will be up against. He'll get teased for taking this fight, for one. He'll get teased for that. He'll work himself through that. But, yeah, if he goes out there and cleans his clock, they're going to come down on him.
Then came the investigation, unraveling this bizarre saga. LAPD officers searched his mansion only to find zero signs of forced entry. No masked intruders, no mysterious threats. Instead, they found a hastily written note from Jake himself, filled with complaints about pressure and expectations. Really? That's the grand statement. If he was aiming to make headlines, he certainly missed the mark. A whimper instead of a bang, just another antic falling flat.
It's gonna make money. You want me to say more than that? Is there a need to say more than that?
The sodium nitrite purchase traced right back to Jake himself, leaving a digital trail as obvious as a kid's tantrum. Even experts shook their heads. Sodium nitrite is typically for preserving meat, not creating a boxing legacy. But wise decisions were never Jake's strength. Doctors acted fast, and by November 9th, Jake Paul was awake and very much alive, a fate he may not have been thrilled about, considering the blow to his reputation. His tough guy image took a beating even Mike Tyson couldn't match, unraveling in a way that left him looking less like a hardened fighter and more like a scared child. The bold persona he'd spent years crafting was now exposed as a fragile facade, collapsing in one spectacular mess. Jake's trademark bravado was shattered, leaving behind a humbled figure grappling with the reality that playtime was finally over.
He can step on the wrong eggshell and let off a combination that can kill most people. No bullshit. He has the power and ability to shift organs in your body if he hits you with the right force, right? So I think he forgot more technique than Jake Paul has ever learned.
And then there's Tyson, the true powerhouse with 50 wins, 44 by knockout, sending opponents into lifelong regret. A real fighter. Meanwhile, Jake's record boasts 10 wins, padded with rivals who were either nearing retirement age or had no place in a boxing ring to begin with. The contrast couldn't be sharper. Just or silent.
Yeah, man, he's looking really, really good. I'm definitely a little bit crazy, and I'm definitely a little bit scared. You know, this is the toughest fight I've had to date against the most experienced opponent. It's at heavyweight, and Tyson's dropping people in sparring. He looks the best shape and the strongest he's ever been, is what his coaches are saying.
Jake, ever the marketing mastermind, squeezed every drop of hype out of his upcoming fight with Tyson, filling his social media with videos of himself sparring against heavyweights, as if to prove he stood a real chance. His confidence was almost impressive, if it weren't so laughable. The theories about Jake's recent hospital stint are now as wild as his career moved. A popular one? The entire incident was staged, a desperate attempt to avoid his November 15th clash with Tyson. After all, Jake has been visibly cracking under the weight of the showdown, folding like a flimsy lawn chair. From the start, it was clear he'd bitten off more than he could chew. All the trash talk, nonstop promo videos, and flashy social media stunts were just smoke and mirrors. Deep down, Jake knew he was outmatched. So when fans speculate that he orchestrated this poisoning as a way to dodge a beating from Tyson, it doesn't sound so far-fetched. Crafting a narrative is second nature to him. If a fake near-death experience could buy time to avoid Tyson's fists, it's no surprise he'd go there.
Like, he's not fighting a MMA guy. He's not fighting a wrestler. He's not fighting an entertainer. He's fighting a boxer. I don't care how old the age gap is. He's fighting a boxer.
All right, let's entertain the other theory for a moment. Maybe Jake really did reach a breaking point, overwhelmed by personal struggles, and tried to bow out of this world for real. How darkly ironic would that be? The infamous Jake Paul, who built his empire on bravado and fearlessness, unable to withstand the weight of his own hype. It's almost absurd. Tragic, sure, but absurd. Critics haven't held back, and rightly so. Jake is being exposed as the loudmouth braggart who crumbles under real pressure like a tent in a storm. Media outlets have torn into his so-called mental fortitude, questioning if he ever intended to face Tyson at all. Talk is cheap, and Jake has it in abundance. But when it's time to act, he falters. A tough exterior with nothing to back it up. Now, fans and critics are locked in debates. Was this all a carefully crafted escape plan, or was Jake truly at a breaking point, needing help? The timing feels suspicious, fueling suspicions that Jake never planned to face Tyson seriously. Maybe he was seeking a way out all along, and this poisoning became his escape route. It's a spectacle, with Jake as the ringmaster, staging a performance fewer people are buying with each passing day.
Fighting the one fighter that most people fear. And I feel like 58, 27, the age is not a factor. That's a wash, right? Experience level obviously is going to go to Mike Tyson. But Jake got a screw loose.
This entire fiasco has cast a shadow over the highly anticipated fight, leaving everyone on edge. The question now is whether Jake will be mentally or physically ready to step into the ring. Promoters are on edge, terrified of having to reschedule, or worse, cancel the event. What was supposed to be the fight of the year is hanging by a thread, all because Jake couldn't balance his ego with his anxieties. The fans, The money, the hype, everything is teetering on the edge of collapse. Even Tyson, the legendary boxer everyone is eager to see, has been dragged into this chaos. But true to form, Tyson's reaction has been as tough as ever. He's not getting caught up in Jake's drama. Instead, he's laser focused on the fight, ready to throw down as planned.
Hey, let's watch it because it's one of my favorite fights to watch Tyson, because it's Tyson in his prime where he was terrifying. He was so fast and he would do angles and he was bobbing and weaving. You couldn't hit him and he was...
Sure, Mike Tyson has made some thoughtful comments about mental health and the pressures athletes face, but let's be real. Tyson is a human wrecking ball and his focus is solely on one thing, winning. While Jake drowns in drama, Tyson is coolly training like the seasoned pro he is. He understands the difference between entertainment and real combat, and he's ready for the latter. Meanwhile, Jake is clearly second-guessing his decision to face Tyson, admitting that footage from Tyson's training camp has him contemplating life. That says it all about his current state of mind. The boxing community is still reeling from Jake Paul's latest fiasco, which has sparked a messy debate about how athletes are treated and whether enough support exists for their mental health. It's also raised questions about the state of the industry and if changes are necessary. But the irony is hard to ignore. Jake Paul, the self-proclaimed king of the ring, has unintentionally become the face of everything wrong with the pressure culture he once thrived on. There's talk of revising fight preparations, ensuring fighters are mentally sound. But let's be honest, this will likely just turn into another forgotten tabloid story in a few months. So, what's next for Jake? Will we see him on a podcast, talking about how fame is too much to handle, how the pressure is unbearable, and how he's been struggling with his mental health? Maybe he'll try to claim a redemption arc. But it's tough to feel sympathy for someone who's built a career out of taunting opponents, belittling others, and filling his fight record with mismatched bouts. He couldn't even execute a sabotage stunt right. And that's the most Jake Paul thing imaginable. One thing is certain, Jake's toughest opponent isn't any boxer. It's his own inflated sense of showmanship. November 15th is fast approaching, and there's no backing out now. Whether he gets pummeled or tries another stunt to dodge his fate, the world is watching. Jake, you've made your bed. Now you have to lie in it.